Hey guys, Zach here, and welcome back to another action figure review, and today we'll be taking a look at the Godzilla Crumble Zone playset. Now this is a playset from 2002, and this is actually based off of a movie from 2001 called GMK, which is shortened for Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack, which actually might be my favorite movie in the Millennium series. Either GMK or Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. To me, those are really good movies, so yeah. Before we get into this video, I have a couple of things to say. First of all, we actually have a lot of things to cover in this video, because there's a lot of, stuff in this set. So this might be a longer video. I don't know if you would mind that or not, so yeah, this might be a longer video, just as a warning. And another warning, and kind of an apology I'd like to give to any hardcore collectors out there. If you hate seeing figures in rough shape, then I would like to apologize in advance, because this set and the other set that I reviewed on this channel like 3 years ago, the Pack of Destruction set, they're in rough shape. So yeah, and especially this set, because some of them are okay in terms of like quality. And when I say quality, I don't mean like the quality of the figure, I mean like the quality of, like, the amount of damage they've gotten. But then there are other things where, yeah, they've seen better days. And the reason why is because I got this for Christmas, I think in 2008. Either 2008 or 2009. Maybe 2007, but yeah, no, I got this for Christmas one year. I was like 8 or 7, and this was easily the best thing ever. I absolutely loved this set. This set was great. I had this, and I had the Pack of Destruction set, and those two were my favorite things ever. So I basically took the two and I kind of merged them. So yeah, so basically I kind of had I had like King Ghidorah, and I kind of had him fighting the 1954 Godzilla from that set, and I thought that looked really nice together. And even now they still look pretty good together in terms of scale. So yeah, or let's say I tried to recreate something like Godzilla vs. Gigan, where I had King Ghidorah and I had Gigan. And there was no Anguirus in either set, so I just used Baragon instead. So I just kind of had King Ghidorah and Gigan fighting Godzilla and Baragon. So yeah. Or just as another example, I always had like King Ghidorah fighting Destroyed, because when I was a kid, I always thought that would be a really cool matchup to see. But yeah, plus I had Godzilla Unleashed when I was a kid, and every time, or not every time, but there would be a lot of times where sometimes I'd be Destroya fighting King Ghidorah, but then sometimes I'd be King Ghidorah fighting Destroya. So yeah. So in other words, to keep everything brief, I loved this set and the Pack of Destruction set from when I was a kid, and a lot of those figures, and not just in this set, but the Pack of Destruction set as well, they're not really in the best shape, and this set itself right now isn't really complete either. I'm missing a building, and I'm missing a blue jet that came in this set, but other than that, I pretty much have everything you would expect to see in this set. So yeah. So again, if you're a hardcore collector and you do not like seeing figures in like a rough shape, then I apologize in advance. And I'm kind of like that myself, and looking at the way these figures are now, it does kind of break my heart a little bit. But again, I was a kid, so there's no, not really, there's no going back, so yeah. But anyway, as I said at the beginning, I have a lot of things to talk about in this set, so this might be a lengthier video. So yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind that. But yeah, anyway, before I take a look at the monsters themselves, let's just take a quick look at the set itself. So we're gonna get Mothra larva out of here. When I was a kid, this is kind of off topic, but I used to call this version of Mothra larvae. I don't know if like they called it in the movies or anything like that. That's just what I called it. So yeah, I might call her that throughout this review, but then again, I might try to call her Mothra's larva form. But yeah, just getting all this out of the way. So yeah, where do we start? So the vehicles. So we get a little bus that looks nice. I'm not going to really go into too much detail with this, but yeah, no, this is a nice bus. As you can see on the side there's a bit of paint chipping, but yeah, no, the wheels are painted black. We have a silver rim right here. The side of the bus and the front, as well as the back, is painted a red underneath and a white on top. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the bus. Not great, but it was still a neat little thing to have in this set, so yeah, the bus is nice. Anyway, we also get a blue truck. The wheels are painted black, and the grille is painted like a silverish color, so yeah. And this is a nice little truck as well. I like it. The sculpting's nice, the detailing is nice for what it is, and yeah, nothing, too crazy. They didn't really need to put this in the set, but they did, and that's honestly pretty cool. So, yeah. Also, again, some more paint bleed from another figure, so, yeah. And a little fire truck. And the fire truck here is painted nicely. We have some reds, some silvers, and the wheels are painted black. And as you can see, the wheels at the bottom have seen better days, so, yeah. And that's pretty much it for the vehicles. As I said at the beginning, this set actually did come with a jet, but I unfortunately lost that. I think it might be in my old house in the previous house I lived in. Actually, no, not that house. The previous house I lived in before my previous house. Because, just another side note, when I was a kid, I actually moved a lot. And I moved to a lot of different homes and towns and whatnot, so, yeah. To be honest, I'm a little sick of moving at this point, and I feel like moving into college is, gonna be kind of, alright, here we go again, so, yeah. But, yeah, no, with all that out of the way, that's pretty much it for the vehicles, so, yeah. Again, I don't have the jet, so I'd like to apologize for that. But, anyway, with all that out of the way, now I'll take a look at the biggest part of this set, which would be this base right here. And this is a nice little base. There's a lot of playability to this, and in terms of, dioramas, I would always use this for as a kid, because, when I was a kid, I probably said this at the beginning of the, stutters, excuse me, wow, that was bad, but no, when I was a kid, I didn't really have a lot of buildings, so I'd always play with the Bandai Creations figures, and I wouldn't really have anything, but until I got this set, I got these buildings. I mean, they were very small, and not really in scale with the Bandai Creations figures, but to be completely fair, that didn't really affect me as a kid. I still really liked it, so yeah. But anyway, so the painting on this base is very nice. There's a lot of grays. The bridge itself, at least on the outside, is like a salmon color, which does look nice. We have a blue building right here with a sticker right there, which I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think that's supposed to be like a tunnel for cars to drive through, but it's kind of trippy almost, because it looks like it could go on, but it just kind of ends like there, so yeah. But anyway, we do get a brown building right here. And as you can see, this part of the set suffered the most, because we do get some paint bleed right here. And on the bridge doesn't really look too good either, so yeah. And honestly, that's pretty much it for the painting on this base. And the painting here, a little lackluster, to be completely honest. It does look a little bare. I feel like there could have been more paint, but considering what there is, the painting here looks very nice. So, yeah. Despite all of my, paint bleeds and whatnot, this still looks nice. So, the painting on this base gets pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the articulation, and there actually is some movement to this base. One thing I really, this is one of my favorite things to do as a kid. I would always just take Godzilla, and I just kind of make him stomp on the bridge, and the bridge could kind of collapse. I actually thought that was really cool as a kid. So, yeah. So the bridge can do that. If we take the blue truck, or any sort of vehicle, I just choose the blue truck. And basically, there's a little square right there, and what you do, you put the truck right there, and there's a little button right here that's cleverly hidden. And then you push that, and that makes the truck kind of almost like an earthquake effect, which is actually pretty cool. And one last thing that you can do with this set that I really like, let's say, again, going back to Godzilla, you could just have Godzilla walking about, and then he could just step on this building, and if you step on this building, then that would cause this building to kind of halfway tip over. And as you can see, I'm just going to show off really quick, there is a little peg right here, which is where the little blue jet would kind of sit. Again, I kind of lost that, so I can't really show this off, but if you push this down, then this would collapse, and then the blue jet would kind of crash into the bridge, which was really cool. So, yeah. And honestly, that's pretty much it for the articulation on this base. Considering, you know, I get that it's like a playset and there's supposed to be some play value from this, but considering, you know, what there is, it's actually pretty neat, and I could see how a kid would really like this a lot. In other words, me when I was 8 years old when I got this, so yeah. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it for the articulation on this base, and the articulation, it gets past. Everything here is pretty fun, so yeah. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting here looks very nice. The roads, not gonna lie, the roads look a little but the rest of the sculpting here looks great. The bridge looks good, everything here looks good. Unfortunately, on the back of the building here we do have some screw holes, but that's completely fine. And underneath, well, yeah, there's that. And we do have some legal information here, so there you go. And honestly, that's pretty much it for the sculpting on this figure. Not too much to say. The sculpting on this base looks nice, so it gets a pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the detailing. And the detailing here, again, looks good. So all of the mountain-like formations here look very nice. And the detailing on the bridge here looks okay, but we have more of that mountainous detailing, which looks very nice. We have some bricks right here, which again, looks very nice. The rocks here are detailed very nicely, everything here is well defined, and even the concrete bricks right here look very nice as well. And yeah, the building here is also detailed very nicely as well, and this building looks very nice. Everything here is well defined and very nice looking. There are some spots where, yeah, they could have done a little bit of a better job, but for the most part, the detailing on this little building is very nice. And that's pretty much it for this little base. So, yeah, this little base is very fun and probably one of the best parts about this set for me when I was a kid. So, yeah. Anyway, we're just going to move the base over here, out of sight so you can't really see it. Now, for the rest of these buildings, I'm not going to go into too much detail with the paint or anything like that. Also, there's not a lot of articulation because, well, they're buildings and they don't really move. Some of them do have, attachable parts, so, yeah, but not going to go into too much detail at this part, so, yeah. But anyway, going at this building here, and this building here looks very nice. First, let's stutters. I've been stuttering a lot lately. I apologize for that. But yeah, no. Starting off with the painting on this figure, this building. Well, I mean, I guess it kind of is a figure, but well, whatever. The painting here, not a lot. It's just kind of like a gray piece, or many gray pieces. So yeah, not a lot of paint. So yeah. There's not really a lot of paint, but to be fair, that's totally fine, so no pass, It's not really an issue that there's no paint. I understand why, but there's no paint nonetheless, so yeah, no pass. But yeah, anyway, the articulation, well, I don't know if this would count, but there are kind of like, removable pieces. So, yeah, which is really cool. Because you can kind of have like Godzilla like come about, like just walking, and then you can kind of recreate the scene from the movie where it looks like he's about to destroy the building, but then he just kind of like walks away, and everyone thinks it's fine, but then the tail comes along and just destroys the building, which is probably one of my favorite parts about that movie. But yeah, and yeah, no, that's a pretty cool thing. All of the pieces kind of like sit in very nicely, so yeah, they're like little pegs and whatnot, like right here. And there's a little piece right there that just kind of like goes into there, like so. And this sits very nicely on top right here. This piece doesn't sit well, to be honest, but it's still nice. But other than that, yeah, there's not really a lot of articulation. Well, there's no articulation, it's just different pieces. But if you want to count that as articulation, then go ahead, I guess. But yeah, no, that's pretty much it for that. So in that aspect, I'm not really going to say articulation, but in that aspect, I'd say it gets a pass. It's pretty cool, so yeah. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting here is nice. Everything here looks very nice. There's just one thing, like this is a nitpick, but I always thought this was weird when I was a kid. So, yeah, that can sit over there. So, this building, Everything here looks very nice. You know, the windows there look clean. They don't look destroyed at all. And then when you have this piece, it looks like they're destroyed. Now, I get that it's supposed to be like crumble, like, you know, it's supposed to be destroyed. I get that, but when the building's like fully assembled, like, this is before the monsters like attack. So it just kind of looks like the building was just kind of left there. I always thought that was really weird when I was a kid, but other than that, the sculpting here still looks very nice. It looks like a mini city. There are a lot of buildings very close together, and honestly, I actually kind of like how that looks. It almost kind of looks cartoonish in a way, but yeah, no, it looks very nice. So yeah, the sculpting here is very nice, and on the back, there's not a lot. There's just more windows and whatnot, so yeah. We do get some screw holes, but it's kind of on the back, so it's not really a big deal, so yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for that building in terms of sculpt. Besides this little weird bit right here that I never really got, I'd say that the sculpting here still looks very nice. So the sculpting gets a pass. Now I'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing here, well, there's not a lot. It's just a lot of windows and whatnot, but this little bit right here, that looks alright. Not great, but it does look alright. But yeah, no, all the windows and whatnot and all the paneling looks good. So the detailing here looks nice. It gets a pass. So we're going to move that to this side right here. Well, it just kind of fell apart. But now we have a two-piece building, which again is pretty much comparable to this, except a little less involved, let's say. So yeah. The painting, again, there's none. This is just a solid gray piece, or solid, you know, gray pieces in this case. But yeah, no, not a lot of paint, so no pass, which again isn't a problem, but yeah. The articulation, well, yeah, it does that. Again, I don't really know if you'd want to count that as articulation or not, but if you wanted, I don't know, like King Ghidorah or something to like come over and just kind of like whack it, then you could do that. So, yeah. And that aspect, again, not as good as the other building, but still a nice little thing as well. So, it gets a pass. Anyway, now I'll take a look at the sculpt. And the sculpting here, again, looks very nice. It looks like one building with a few buildings next to it. Kind of like the other building, but just less crowded. So, yeah. And not really a lot to say here. So, the sculpting, it looks nice. It gets a pass. Anyway, no, wow, stutters. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing here looks, well, comparable to the other building, except the windows here are bigger, and honestly, to me, that just looks like a waffle. So, yeah. We have more windows, and the detailing on these buildings aren't crazy. It's pretty much this, and there's not really a lot of detailing on the inside either, but yeah, no. Everything here still looks very nice, so the detailing, I'd say, gets a pass, and that's pretty much it for this building right here. Now I'll take a look at this cylinder-like building, and this is just a hollow piece. There's nothing really on the inside, and it doesn't really come apart either, so yeah. So again, no paint, no pass, no articulation, so no pass. The sculpting, it looks alright. All of the windows are nice, and this is just a cylinder-like building. Not a lot to say, so it looks nice. Gets a pass, but yeah. The detailing, not a lot. We just have more windows throughout the building. We have a little short bit right here on the top, and yeah. No, that's pretty much it for this building in terms of detailing, and that's pretty much it for this building in general, so yeah, honestly, not great. It's pretty bland, so yeah. Just gonna put that over here. These next two buildings are just kind of disappointing, so we're just gonna look at them both at once. So, painting, not much, just solid gray pieces. No articulation. The sculpting looks alright in the front. On the side of this building, it doesn't really look great, but on the side of this building, it looks alright. And yeah. For some reason, these are just hollow pieces. With this one, like, it's a hollow piece, yeah, but, like, everything, like, in this, like, it's like one piece. This is just, like, you know, exposed, so that looks kind of weird. So when you kind of, like, display this, you kind of have to, like, have it like this. So, yeah. But, yeah, no. The detailing looks alright, and, yeah. Honestly, I don't really care too much for these buildings, but, again, you do see most of these in the thumbnails for my Godzilla videos in general, so, yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for that. Now, that's pretty much all the buildings and whatnot, so now we're going to take a look at the monsters, and the monsters are actually very nice. The first one I'm going to be looking at, which is Godzilla, doesn't look great, and probably my least favorite figure in the set, but he still looks nice, so let's take a look at him. So, here is Godzilla. The sculpting isn't great, but we'll get to that when we get to that, so let's just start off with the paint. And the painting on this figure is very nice. Again, mine's very scuffed up and there's a lot of paint chipping, so I do apologize for that, but everything here, it's fine and pretty much what you'd expect from a GMK Godzilla. So most of the body is like a bright grayish color, which looks very nice. The toenails, fingernails, and teeth, as well as the eyes, they're all painted white, and he also has a red tongue. The dorsal plates are a brighter shade of gray, almost like a whitish color. And on the outer dorsal plates, you can see a bit of black. That wasn't there before. That was, those are scuff marks, because, well, I think you get it at this point. But, yeah, no, there is scuffage right here, which honestly doesn't look awful, but it is definitely noticeable, so, yeah. Anyway, that is pretty much it for the painting on Godzilla. And the painting on Godzilla, despite all the scuff marks and whatnot, the painting here still looks nice, so the paint gets a pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the articulation. Well, you can kind of fake articulation. There's no articulation on this figure at all, but you can kind of fake it because it's kind of rubbery. So, yeah, can move the tail about like so. When I was a kid, I used to kind of like close the mouth, and I used to like kind of make Godzilla look up, but I did that one day and the head just kind of snapped off. So, yeah, I don't suggest doing that. But, yeah, no, there's pretty much no articulation, so we're just going to get right into the sculpt. And the sculpting on this figure, it almost looks like GMK Godzilla. There are just a few things that are just kind of off. First of all, the dorsal plates, to me, look a little off compared to the movie. They don't look bad by any means, but they don't look spot on. That, and I think the head looks kind of, well, it doesn't look bad, but it's definitely not GMK Godzilla. But, yeah, that, and for some reason the neck is really skinny here. And also there's a big crease underneath the neck, or just a big gap, but again, that's more my fault than anything. But other than that, the sculpting on this figure, it looks nice. So, the sculpting here, I'd say gets a pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing is nice as well. Considering the size of this figure, I almost said sculpting, the detailing looks nice. So the detailing in the head right here looks alright. All of the scaling and whatnot is very well defined, and everything here looks very nice. And we do get the same scaling going throughout the body, like on the arm right here. We also get some creases, which looks nice, and almost kind of looks like it's a guy in a rubber suit, but that's just me. And that's kind of how it was in the movie, and I like that a lot, so yeah. But anyway, we have some more scales going down the leg right here, which look nice. And the detailing on the tail looks very nice as well. The detailing on the dorsal plates look alright. And that's pretty much it for the detailing on this figure. This figure, it's not my favorite in this set, but it's definitely not a bad figure either. So, Godzilla, I'd say he gets a pass and a half. He could have been better, but honestly, he's still alright, so pass and a half. Anyway, now we'll take a look at Mothra's larva form. And this is a slightly better figure than Godzilla, so yeah, I do like this figure a lot. So first, we'll take a look at the painting on this figure. And the painting on this figure is pretty good. Most of the figure is like a brownish color, but it kind of has that glossy finish, so it kind of looks like she just got out of the ocean, which is cool. The eyes are painted blue, and she has a black beak right here. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. Not a lot, but the painting here still looks nice. Not great, but nice, so it gets a pass. Anyway, now I'll take a look at the articulation. There is no one. or there's none. This is just a rubber piece, so you can kind of fake some, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it for that. So not really going to talk about the articulation, there is none, so we're just going to get right into the sculpt here, and the sculpting here looks very nice and very spot on to how her Mothra form looked in GMK, so yeah, I like how this looks a lot. So yeah, nothing really too crazy to point out, so yeah, the sculpting here gets a pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing looks nice. So the detailing on the face looks very nice. Very well defined. We do have kind of a seam line right here, but other than that, we do have some nice detailing. All of the bumps and all of the little cracks and crevices on this figure look very nice. And on the underside, we have some legal information, and the caterpillar-like legs at the bottom look very nice as well. We have some creases down here. And that's pretty much it for Mothra. She's a nice figure. Not terrible, but not bad, so she gets a pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the Mothra imago form, and this is actually my favorite form of, or not form, but this is my favorite incarnation of Mothra, because with like the other incarnations, it didn't really look threatening, they just looked like giant fluffy butterflies. This actually looks like it could, you know, actually win in a fight against Godzilla, and I actually really like how this version of Mothra looks, but yeah. Anyway, first we'll take a look at the painting, and the painting, it's not great. There are some spots where they could have painted, but for the most part, it doesn't look bad. So, her wings are very colorful. We have a lot of reds and yellows and blacks and purples, which looks very nice. Her back is painted white with some orange fuzz, which does look good. Her eyes are painted purple as well, and her beak is painted black. And underneath we have some more white, more black, more red, and more yellow. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. Yeah, there are some spots where they did kind of forget to paint, like right here. There's supposed to be a bit more coloration. That, and I feel like they could have given the underside of her a bit more love, but other than that, that's pretty much it for the paint. Still not bad, so it gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the articulation. There is none, so we're just going to get right into the sculpt. Well, actually, before we do that, I guess you kind of fake one, because all of these figures in this set are like a rubbery material, so you could kind of fake some, but yeah. Don't move the legs up and down, because they definitely will snap. I know that from experience, because I did that a lot when I was a kid, and I don't know if it was this wing or this wing, but one of them got snapped, so yeah. Anyway, the sculpting on this figure looks good. This looks a lot like how Mothra looked in GMK, and I like that a lot. So, the sculpting here gets a pass. Not a lot to say, so yeah. Again, it gets a pass. Now we'll take a look at the detailing, and the detailing on the Mothra looks very nice. So the detailing on the face looks very nice. The eyes are detailed very nicely, and all of the fur all over her body looks very nice. The detailing on her wings also looks very nice as well. All of the little creases and whatnot look very nice. And even the detailing on the legs look very good. There's a little peg right here, and the reason why there's a little peg right here is because there was a triangular building that came in this set, but I kind of lost it, and basically, just to show you guys as an example, Mothra would just kind of like sit on top of that building like so you can kind of make it look like she's flying. You can do it with this building, but you do kind of have to like play around with it a little, so yeah. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the detailing on Mothra. And the detailing here, not bad. It's good, but not perfect. So the detailing on Mothra here gets a pass. Anyway, now we'll take a look at Baragon. And Baragon is a monster that, in my opinion, doesn't get a lot of love, and honestly should. Baragon's a cool monster. He's not as cool as Anguirus, to be completely honest. I love Anguirus, but yeah, Baragon is still an alright monster. That, and I really like to play as him in Godzilla Unleashed for the Wii, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, Baragon is a cool monster, and this is honestly a very cool figure, so yeah. So the painting on Baragon here is very nice. A lot of scuff marks that I'll show you in a second, but as you can see, most of the body is a reddish color. The toenails are painted yellow, as well as the horn right here. The eyes are painted black, which is kind of inaccurate. In the movie, they were red, but he did have black pupils, so I mean, I guess that works, but yeah. Also, the teeth are painted white. And that's pretty much it for the painting on this figure. There is a bit of scuffage on the horn right here. On the back, as you can see. And underneath, there is some scuff marks and a lot of paint chipping. But other than that, the painting on this figure is still very nice. So the paint here gets a pass. Anyway, now I'll take a look at the articulation. Again, rubbery figure, so you can kind of fake some. So we're just going to get right into the sculpt now. And the sculpting on this figure looks perfect. Just like with Mothra, this looks exactly like how he did in GMK, which is really cool. So, yeah. Sculpting here, not a lot to say. It just looks very nice. So the sculpting here gets a pass. Anyway, now I'll take a look at the detailing. And the detailing on this figure is actually very nice. So, the detailing on his head, if my camera can focus, looks very nice. All of the creases and bumps look pretty nice. The teeth don't look great, but considering how big this thing's head is, it's kind of understandable, but yeah. Anyway, the side of the body here, we have more scales and whatnot, which look very nice, and all the bumps on his back and going to his tail, again, is detailed very nicely. We have some more scales and whatnot on his legs, and underneath, all the scaling underneath here looks very nice, nicely defined, and some legal information right here, so yeah. And that's pretty much it for Baragon's detailing. And Baragon as a whole is probably one of my favorite figures in the set. Probably my #1 favorite figure in the set. So, yeah. I really like Baragon, and I would really like to see Baragon appear in more movies as well. Actually, fun fact, GMK, it featured Godzilla, but it also featured Mothra, King Ghidorah, and Baragon as the Guardian monsters. But originally, it was supposed to be Baragon, Anguirus, and Varan. And I feel like that would have been a lot better. So, yeah. Kind of have, like, Anguirus and Baragon in the same movie. That'd be great. Because, again, I love Anguirus. And that would make a lot more sense because, especially King Ghidorah, he's kind of the alien. And he's supposed to be the bad guy. And having him, like, a good guy feels kind of weird. I don't see Godzilla as a good guy. I'd say he's neutral. I don't want to say he's evil or good, he's neutral to me. And King Ghidorah to me should just be pure evil, so yeah. Speaking of which, King Ghidorah here. Now as a kid, I really liked this figure, but looking at it now, it almost looks like he's kind of depressed, because if you look at the heads here, like, they don't look threatening at all, they just look like, huh. Like, they're just, like, thinking, like, is it really worth it? But yeah, no, we'll talk more about that when we talk about the sculpt, but the painting on this figure is a little bland. In the movie, he was more of a goldish color. He's not really that here, he's just like a very, like, boring shade of yellow, almost like a brownish color, which honestly doesn't look bad, but to be completely fair, I would have preferred more of like a goldish color, but yeah. Anyway, his eyes are painted red with black pupils, and his teeth are painted white. It would have been nice if his toenails were painted black or whatever, but unfortunately they're not, so yeah. Or not really black, maybe like a brighter shade of yellow or something, but yeah. But honestly, that's it for the paint on King Ghidorah. Not a lot, so yeah. It still looks somewhat nice, so I'd say it gets a pass. A little bland, but still good, so yeah. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the detailing, or not yet, I keep messing up in this video. No, we're going to take a look at the articulation. Actually, kind of a side note, whenever I do recording, sometimes, I don't know why, for some reason I do kind of get detailing mixed up with articulation. I don't know why I do that, just sometimes I get the two mixed up, but yeah, no, articulation. This figure actually has some articulation. Yeah, this is a rubbery figure, so you can kind of fake some with the wings right here. I wouldn't move the heads around, but you can kind of do so. But there actually is articulation in the tail. The tail can swivel. And this wasn't like a choice that they wanted to make because, oh, it'd be cool. This was a choice they wanted to make because it would fit better in the box like so. So, yeah. So, if you got this in box, then it would just be like that. So, yeah. But still cool nonetheless. So, not a lot, but considering the other figures in the line, I'd say the articulation here gets a pass. Anyway, now I'll take a look at the sculpt, and the sculpting on this figure is really good and pretty much how he looked in GMK. Again, the other two heads look very depressed. Like, they don't look threatening. They don't look like, they're ready to fight. They just look like they're just ready to just end it. It looks like the head, like, actually, I was thinking this the other day. It looks like the head in the center is trying to crack a joke, but then the other two heads are just really depressed. They just don't really have much of a reaction. So, yeah. But that is pretty much it for the sculpt. Other than the heads looking a little depressed, the sculpting here actually looks very nice. I actually really like how the wings are kind of like, resting instead of like being like upwards like they usually are in the movie. But yeah, that looks nice. But yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much it for the sculpting. Sculpting on this figure, still very nice, so it gets passed. Anyway, now we'll take a look at the detailing. And the detailing, again, just like with Baragon, actually looks pretty good. So the detailing in the heads here are detailed very nicely. All the scales and whatnot, and all the creases look very nice. And throughout the body, we do get these traditional scales, which are actually very nicely defined. Everything here looks very good. The feet are detailed very nicely, as well as the tail here. And the detailing on the wings look very nice as well. All the creasing and whatnot, and all the folds just look great. And we do have some more legal information back here. So if you want to read that, there you go. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the detailing on King Ghidorah. And the detailing on King Ghidorah, again, actually looks very nice. So the detailing gets a pass. And that's pretty much it for this set. I covered everything that I have at least. Again, I'm missing a few buildings, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it for this set. And this was, again, one of my favorite things to play with. And I'm actually surprised it took me this long to review. But yeah, no, well, actually, I'm recording this in July. Actually, I'm recording this on July 3rd. And tomorrow is actually on the the 4th of July. So, yeah. So, I didn't really see it in that video, but, just because I can. Happy 4th of July, everyone. But, yeah, no, that's pretty much it for this set. So, at the end of the day, should you get this? To be completely honest, this is a great set. I absolutely love this thing. Like, even, like, now as, like, an adult, I still think that this is a very cool set. And the fact that it's based off of my favorite movie from the, I almost said Heisei, from the Millennium, series, I think that this is a very nice set. And if you love GMK, then I would highly recommend this set. How much is this set, though? Well, to be fair, this is, I think, a very rare set. Because I went on eBay, and with the Pack of Destruction set for, like, this set, I go on eBay, and that set costs, like, $100, which is pretty high, but it still is a very nice set. This set, I've never seen a listing for this on eBay once. Like, I feel like I might have seen it, like, all the way back in 2014, but that was it. The most recent I've seen this set was, well, it was just this Godzilla figure for sale, and they were selling the Godzilla figure for $20. So, the set itself, I don't know. I've never seen it once. Like, I've never seen the complete set. I've just seen Godzilla for sale once recently. But, yeah, no. The challenge wouldn't be finding the set for a good price. I feel like the challenge would be finding this set altogether, because this is a very rare set, I think. I know nothing about this. I don't know how rare it is, but yeah. Honestly, knowing that I have a very rare set in my collection feels nice. It honestly feels really good. And it's kind of a shame that this is a rare set because, yeah, it's rare, but this is very nice. So, yeah. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't be concerned with the price. If you were to find this set, I'd say definitely go for it because this set is very nice and it's very rare. So, yeah. I know nothing about this set. I don't know the rarity, but I've never seen it on eBay, so I can only assume that it's very rare. But yeah, no. If you can get this set, then this set is absolutely great. So if you want this set, then definitely buy it. I love this set, especially if you love the GMK movie as well. So, yeah. Anyway, if you want to know how big this set is, here it all is with Dr. Billy Grant. And it's actually pretty decently sized. Not too big, but not too small either. So I like that. Anyway, that is it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zach out.